New Jersey. It's a special Halloween presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Returning from his end zone is Ty Johnson. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who'll be calling the plays under center.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
The numbers for Bell on the ground of the game last week. 23 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's where they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Well, Carter Landry maybe doesn't have the speed he once had in his Longhorn days, but he showed a nice little burst after that catch.
Almost like he had a little bit of a throwback there, huh, partner? Because while he was never really a burner, he did have the ability to outrun linebackers. And here, as you described, he looked like the 2014 Carter Landry. And he rumbled for a big gain.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This will be a jet sweep to Crowder, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. Jamison Crowder, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Time to see the Bengals offense go to work, and leading them out, the #1 overall pick in the 2020 draft, Joe Burrow, now in his 2nd season out of LSU.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
The numbers for Mixon last week, 15 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to him early and often, it in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Third down, Burrow. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Joe Burrow in year number 2, moving around pretty good considering the seriousness of his injury last year. If you're a defensive coordinator here, what are you trying to do to slow Joe Burrow down?
I think you want him to be in rhythm.
Throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. The give is to Bell. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics. Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Underneath, he's got Brate. 7 yards, the pickup there. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. T. Higgins was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1 yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate it.
And he guys look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Sam Hubbard able to get him for a loss of about 3. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Got his man. It's the veteran Landry. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15.
Good job there getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
High throw, but he makes the catch. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack, trying to get away but could not. Sam Hubbard in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Airing one out for Crowder. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off by Von Bell, and a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A handoff to Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, making the 25. 41 showed Fatukasi. Gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half, 10-0 our score. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This from 42 yards out. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my own college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now here's a throw. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run on first down. Bell, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Similar to a shooter.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play, with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets will extend their lead here just before halftime. Gonzalez able to tackle on the PAT. And the lead is now 17-3. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. From there, we take the trip across Lake Erie to check on the Lions at home in...
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
On second down, Mixon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's brought down.
It all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Mixon, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Just a yard to go here on second down. They'll go right back to Evans. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Here's a give to Mixon. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big run.
Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. T. Higgins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game. The extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. The return man, Ty Johnson. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, They know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
They fights him off. Man open, here is Crowder. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
On first down, Bell. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now back to throw. Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. And the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gather the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. This will be a jet sweep to Crowder. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They'll give this to Bell running right. Sheds off the tackle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 90 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Finds a seam inside the 40. And down right around the 37.
These guys certainly not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They're going to look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. The 30. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six from Bengals TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And it's a big advantage of it when the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to his knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. They will look to flush the memory of that pick six as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the fourth quarter, getting down to the good stuff. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. On second down now, it's Bell. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters,
the Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sam Hubbard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
you know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Slings one that's incomplete.
You definitely won't like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing one out for Crowder. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. They'll run on 1st down. Mixon will wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had his eyes on that one being bigger.
Burrow's throw complete here, pulled in by Brady. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here, a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes you get this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually the point of attack, and this time he got caught.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone, but sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. On the running back because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that. That's why they were able to get to him on it.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. A big spot now for Stephen Gostkowski. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Gostkowski's kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. And that last field goal, number 400 for him in his NFL career. I don't know whether this will wind up a Hall of Fame career, but he's certainly been at the top of his profession for quite a while.
And that is without question, my man. One of the best kickers we've seen in the past decade or so. Big congratulations to him. Pretty nice round number.
So the Jets now down by a field goal, and time a huge factor. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. They'll go again with Bell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. He's got his veteran tight end Landry. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner. We watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. Back to throw. Out to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Back to throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw.
I'm most surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at all. Use them now.
Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll look to throw. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people watching this one right here gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Gonzalez to add the PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. And now all the focus, it shifts to the Bengals. Trailing by 4, 26 seconds to go. And they've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. To throw, Burrow. Connecting with Mixon. And he's going to pick up a 1st down here as that clock continues to run. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Now Burrow. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Oh, no, he lost the football. Now they burn the timeout. And they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. Burrow. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
A final shot now for Burrow. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Jets, they remain.
I was talking with my crew before the show. By the way, best production